Well, hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, the frequencies of the earth are changing at this present time. You can all feel it, of course, and what it means is the Tibetan symbols that I normally use may not be as palatable to the ear as they used to be, as we become more sensitive and open to the vibrations around us. So I've sourced a softer frequency to prepare and cleanse your reading with. I'm using a Gaia chime to cleanse hourly, so please be mindful and turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aries, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into what's going on with you right now, how you're moving through this time period, and what lies on the other side. I'm only using one deck because I love the simplicity it lends to this particular spread. So let us begin. It may not resonate with all of you, of course, because I do not choose the cards, I shuffle the cards, but let's see how we go, okay? So thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? What do they need to know regarding their current circumstances? Ooh, very passionate energy there. Your starting card is the Ten of Swords. You are so fed up with some of the things that are going on right now. Ten of Swords indicates you've had enough. Okay, I'm not surprised with that energy that I'm feeling in this deck right now. We do have the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, some of you with that Ten of Swords, it can indicate that you've had like major ideas, because it can be a point of epiphany where you want change, and it has to be radical for some of you. But that Ten of Swords, for some of you, you may feel there's like this energy of, why does it have to be so hard? You know, I feel tens are important periods where it highlights how strong you are, how far you've come. Look at that, Ten of Pentacles there as well. So that can indicate as well that you've had a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, that you're focused on your finances, on your family. You have so much going on right now, so much on your mind. You got the World card, another card. Oh my gosh, another 10. My beautiful Aries. You know, these are positive tens. The Ten of Cups indicates your protagonist kind of energy potential. Oh my gosh. Okay, isn't that interesting? Now, the candle, you know, this part of the candle, which has been kind of like hanging on there for the last couple of weeks, it's finally come off. So for some of you, it can be that you're under a lot of pressure, and for some of you, you may feel there's a situation in particular that you're at breaking point, or you've just had enough of it. But it is a rejuvenative energy, because I'm seeing a bonfire. Wow, the energy in your reading is like so powerful right now. I'm seeing a bonfire in the water because I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading. So this can indicate a rebirth or a revamp in life. You know, fire is regenerative. It burns things down in order to create new. So let's get to the energy and see what's going on there. How would you like to receive? Okay, how would you like to receive? Okay, we've got the Three of Cups here. We've got the Knight of Cups here. We've got the Knight of Wands there. The fact that I saw this bonfire, I'm not surprised to see that Knight of Wands, because it indicates you reigniting your spark, your passion for things. But with that Ten of Swords, I feel like mentally you are drained. And maybe you even feel like there's interference that you're trying to like block out right now. Now, of course, look at that. We've got the King of Wands. This is a return to a part of yourself that you feel like you've lost touch with. So I'm not surprised that that bonfire is there. I mean, for some of you, this can be that you're burning bridges to something, or it can indicate that you are in a period of cleansing something, you know, maybe even burning away the excess in life, decluttering, detoxifying, saying enough is enough on something. So we will tap into the energy as I get to each of the cards. We got King and Queen of Cups there. Okay, so there's a lot of people in your reading. So this could be basically aspects of self, but it could also be people who are connected to you in some way. Okay, and for some of you, it could literally be that you're trying to find love, for example, because there is like a power couple here, King and Queen of Cups, where there is a lot of love, happiness, and joy. So it could be the road to love, but these are things outside of yourself at first. Okay, this reading's meant to be about you and what's going on with you. And because there's so many tens in your reading, I feel like you're so ready for a fresh new start. And, you know, there is the world energy there. So it can indicate something big changed or ended, and for some of you it could be connected to the world and the shifts that we've been going through over the last couple of years. We all experienced a monumental event that changed life or our perspective on life forever. And for some of you, you may have witnessed friendships, because we have the 3 cups there. There may have been some sort of evolving or distancing from certain people, or maybe you feel people changed, whether that's in your immediate circumstances like family members, soul tribe members. There seems to be this energy of like severing ties or distancing yourself with people and situations, which is a real shame, is what I'm getting here. But I do see that in the future, there will be a healing process and an awakening energy as well. Okay, so I'm going to remove myself from that energy and really like tap into the core of your energy. The 10 of Swords indicates you're under a lot of pressure. You know, you're doing a lot, you have a lot on your mind, and a lot of you feel burnt out and at capacity. Don't get me wrong, I still see that you're like thriving and, you know, really showing up for yourself in life. You're a real warrior. You're not allowing it to stop you in your tracks, but something has to give. And maybe that's what this symbolically was all about. You know, some of you may feel like you're at breaking point with either a relationship or a person or a situation. I mean, for some of you, it can be the world. It can be the way that things are headed in the trajectory that we're all witnessing at this moment in time. You may feel that something radical changed. It's almost like the world is upside down in some way, and you're trying to recalibrate or find your way in a world that feels somehow different, but still everything is weirdly the same. Okay, so that's something that I've really got coming through here. And collectively, a lot of people may be feeling this shift at this time. But the 10 of Swords, you know, for some of you, because there are some people here, some of you may be going through a betrayal of trust or a betrayal of kind of like relationship dynamics. You may feel left out in the cold or isolated by someone or people in some way, because the 10 of Swords can be a very lonely journey, and it can indicate that, you know, you're feeling broken down and tired in some way. You're just tired of something or tired of the same old kind of repetitive cycles in life. And you may feel right now that although you're working towards something, and there's a lot of success here and a lot to celebrate, okay, whatever it is you're doing, it's exhausting, and you may feel that you're doing it by yourself without much support at this time. Okay, 10 of Swords as your starting card is a very prominent, strong card to say you've had enough with a lot, okay, and something needs to give here. But also the 10 of Swords can indicate that you're so close to wherever it is you feel like you need to be, okay? So if you're trying to accomplish something, you know, that 3 of Cups says you're going to get it. 10 of Cups in your potential position says you're going to be very fulfilled. Whatever it is that's coming to an end here, you shall be fulfilled. A lot of you with that 10 of Swords as well, as so many ending cards, you know, 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, the World card, it can indicate that you are literally closing down chapters of your life in order to rebirth, because we have that Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is the seed of something new, the idea, the thought. So you could be trying to do something bold and daring and new in your life, like move to a new neighborhood or get a new job, or for some of you, it could be retiring, you know, and it can feel that you're at like a prominent kind of monumental moment in your life where everything changes. Okay, because Ten of Swords is kind of like something is not serving you anymore and you're fed up and you just feel like you need to like sever ties with it or cut it out. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be a situation. It can be a food substance for some of you if you feel that perhaps, you are connecting to something that drains you of energy or makes you feel low vibe, for example. It can be that you are like restructuring your life in some way and promising yourself that you're not going to connect to something that you're tempted to connect to, whether it's an addiction, whether it is a repetitive cycle with a person, or something that you feel you've been accepting for too long. Ten of Swords is like you've had enough, even of your own, stuff, shall we say, because we only really change as humans when we're completely fed up with a cycle, when we've said enough. And that's with other people, it's with ourselves. Swords are all about the truth. It's about honoring your authenticity and saying, I've been thinking about this for some time, and the time has come to really like close it down, shut it down. The Ten of Swords is a very difficult and stressful situation that I feel some of you have been dealing with. And whilst for some of you, it's like going to be rewarding, whatever this is, it doesn't take away the fact that it's hard. Life is hard, okay? We're all dealing with different structures that have gone on in the world over the last couple of years. I mean, I always say this, but the world has always been a little bit crazy and highly pressurized, but the last couple of years really have like amped up this level of uncertainty and fear about economics, and the trajectory of people's future financially. So it could be something that's been on your mind and causing you a lot of pressure. With that Ace of Pentacles, this is the crossing card. So some of you may be like, I'm working really hard to make life work, but I feel like somehow I'm in the same place. Or the Ace of Pentacles can indicate you worry about going into debt, or you feel like you're stressing about money right now, or you're feeling the pinch. I got to be honest with the cards that are popping out there. There's a lot of hidden inflation in items that we purchase day to day, and it can be that it's nibbling away at funds in some way, and you're just keeping an eye on things and feeling a little bit stretched. So if that's you, I definitely see that you're going to have lots of money-making ideas. Ten of Swords can be like a hive mind of ideas. Suddenly everything's like bubbling up. There's so much going on there. You really need to sit with self and take stock of the idea that really sets your soul on fire and run with that, because the Ace of Pentacles tells me that you can transform your finances, okay? And for some of you, this could also be that you're going to get good quality advice from someone who is qualified to give that advice as well, because kings and queens, they tend to have a lot of experience and knowledge. So some of you could actually discover some sort of helpful advice that will safeguard your finances if you're worried about your finances in some way. So, I do see that in the future with that Ten of Cups, there is fulfillment, peace, well-being, and Three of Cups is something to celebrate. So I just want you to be aware of that energy, that, there is a trajectory where you are protected and redirected. So, we have an Ace of Pentacles crossing. Now, this can also be like, you being mindful of what you are investing in life. Okay, so it can be that, you are investing in friendships that give back, reciprocity, maybe even financial opportunities that yield a fair amount of money as a reciprocal exchange, whether that's you working for something and getting a fair amount of money. Aces are gifts from the universe. So a lot of you, there is this energy of feeling that perhaps the universe has left you out for a little bit and you are wondering, is there an opportunity for stability and well-being? Because a lot of you are paying close attention to stress levels, high cortisol levels, okay, especially with that Ace of Pentacles. For some of you, especially if you are worried about like high blood pressure or high cholesterol, things like that because of stress or pressure, okay? I definitely see here it becomes more manageable. I'm not a medical professional, always get help from a trained professional, okay? But I do see it's manageable. So I would say don't worry about it, but perhaps, invest in some of the advice that you're being given, okay? I'm going to move away from the energy. I'm only mentioning it because swords are of the mind, which can indicate you're under a lot of pressure or stress or you're worried about something. And the Ace of Pentacles can connect to the body and its effect on the body. So some of you could be feeling a bit drained, okay? And Also, in the position that it's in, it's like an additional stress card because you also read it in the reverse as well as the upright in this position. But I feel like the effort that you're making in life, you know, whilst it is a lot, it will be rewarded and it will feel rewarding and fulfilling, okay? With that Ten of Pentacles, some of you have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders. You know, I definitely see that you are focused on your family, on the people that you really care about. And, you know, sometimes for some of you, not all of you, but because the Ace of Pentacles is in the crossing position, you may feel sometimes that you go unappreciated or unnoticed, or you feel that no matter what you give and offer of your energy or your actions, it feels like somehow it's never enough. And whether that's in a career or whether that's with a friendship or a relationship, whether it's a family dynamic here that I'm picking up, you may feel right now that no matter what you do, it's never enough. But that's all about to flip and change, okay? Some of you, if you have been feeling exhausted, I see that your vitality returns, and I definitely see here that you're turning a corner that will yield a lot more celebration, a lot more coming togetherness. So if you've been feeling your friendships evolving, or, you know, dynamics being strained in relationships or family dynamics, I see it coming together and a support after a very important conversation that takes place. It's a diplomatic one, but it's raw and it's honest and it's true, and everyone says their piece and everyone comes to some sort of understanding with that Three of Cups there, okay? Now, the Ace of Pentacles, this can indicate that you're trying really hard to align yourself with stability, and sometimes it feels like life, it's 2 steps forward, 4 steps back, but that is about to shift for you. So with that Ten of Pentacles on the earthly plane, this can indicate that you are going to be secure, okay? And for some of you, I have to acknowledge it, there is an energy here that you may have, and this is not going to resonate with all of you, okay, but it is coming through, so I have to mention it. For some of you, you may have been going through a very intense grieving period. Ten of Swords can be like not just broken down and tired, but grieving something, or something has been like super painful. And with the World card energy, it can indicate someone who is very close to you has transitioned and passed over, and you may feel bereft, you know, almost like on autopilot, in shock, or, you know, there's moments of intense waves of emotion. But the Ten of Cups, for some of you, it can be that the intense emotions you've had to somehow put to the side to be practical and focus on things like inheritance or paperwork, you know, and you'd rather have the person or the people with you, but the responsibility has fallen to you to have to be like in organizational mode. And it feels with that Ten of Cups that your grieving or the emotions have somehow not quite hit as much as you feel like they may in the future, okay? I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. I want you to be aware that whoever it is, actually there's a long line of people who are joining you and supporting you along the way. Thanks so much, I'm so grateful. I'm actually seeing something, and my readings are not about religion. They're not about you know, someone's specific religion, but I'm seeing something in the water right now that basically I feel is symbolic more than anything. I'm seeing a set of footprints, but I'm also being given this energy that you're not alone, okay? That you're being supported from your guides or your soul tribe, your family in spirit, and that they walk with you. And there's lots of signs being given to you whenever you ask for them. And when you get a sign, don't question it, because you know that actually it is something special to you. I'm not actually being given anything particular in the water right now. I'm seeing white feathers. These are typical, shall we say, of acknowledgement that spirit is around you. But I feel like you're going to get something more precise, something that you actually ask for. So be very precise in what it is that you want to see, and you shall see it. Also seeing a little bumblebee join that feather. So I'm getting an energy here that, you know, someone who is watching over you is working really hard to help you move towards rewards and feel like you are stable and part of something. I'm just getting this energy of like, especially with the Ten of Swords, if you're feeling a bit isolated and alone right now, the Three of Cups is like you're finding your soul tribe or being guided towards people coming together, okay, or more support. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from that energy, but that's something that's just come through. what I'm being given is they think the world of you, and although there was complex relationships and dynamics, there was a lot of unconditional love and a lot of support being cheerleaded from the other side. You're going to get to where you perceive you should be. So that is something that is coming through. So I'm going to disconnect from that energy, and I'm going to open it up more to the other energies that are available. Ten of Pentacles indicates that you're putting everything you got into the life that you are trying to aspire to right now. The Ten of Pentacles, of course, can indicate that, you're learning more about yourself. It's a wealth of knowledge that is going to help you move forward and master whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish right now. There's definitely celebration there with that Three of Cups. But also I feel this is about you learning more about yourself and also noticing how you invest in yourself and how it has, a major impact on your body. So you could be looking at what you digest and, drink as well, because we've got the Ten of Cups there, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So these can be things that you either physically digest or, listen to or watch. You may be really discerning about the company that you keep at this moment in time and really kind of like not allowing things that breed fear or anxiety to really come into your world, because you're aware with that World card and the Ten of Swords that there is a lot of pain in the world already. And it's not that you're like trying to phase it out. I definitely see that you're not doing that. You're someone who always tries to help and leave a place better than when you found it. But I feel a lot of you are trying to distance yourself because it is overwhelming. Okay, and you're trying to zoom more into your family, your soul tribe. This is a card of responsibility and feeling that, you have a duty or you're duty bound in some way. And it can indicate that, right now, especially after your birthday season, my beautiful Aries, some of you may be thinking about your legacy because you may have come to like a milestone birthday for you in some way, or even a milestone era in your life. You're maturing in a certain way and you're learning more about your circumstances. But what I see here is you're not allowing the challenges of life to harden your heart, okay? Now, of course, some of you with that Ten of Swords, if I was to apply this reading to a love reading, for example, some of you may have been going through a divorce, or you may have been going through a separation, or you may have just responsibilities on your shoulders and you feel that you're never going to find love. You're never going to find true companionship with another. But what I see here is you closing out a chapter or a cycle that was really painful, and that, you're not allowing it to guard your heart. You're trying to remain open to love. And I see with that Ten of Cups, you will be happy. You will actually meet the person that you are meant to be with, and they will be a welcome addition to your love and to your life. And I see here that the Three of Cups indicates you'll meet this person in a group of people, and it is a match. I mean, you both fall in love with each other pretty much instantly. There is a connection there, but I feel you may be introduced to this person through a third party. So it could be a friend who sets you up, or it could be, you meet this person in a group of people, but your friend has invited you to this event, for example. For some of you, you may even meet this person at like a wedding or a gathering where people come to celebrate something. Okay, so, for some of you, I feel like you may actually meet a flirtation first. Okay, so someone who pays you a lot of attention, but deep down you feel they have not all the ingredients you're looking for in a person. So you kind of enjoy the company with them, but you acknowledge that you have to let this person down and move on. The next person that you meet is your soulmate. Okay, so that's coming through for some of you. Now, I want to come back to this energy of if some of you were married or in a high-level commitment with a person who has passed over, I definitely see here that they want you to be happy, okay? And they want a new start for you. And actually, I feel like they're trying to govern you towards meeting a new person who's going to protect your heart and love you. The way I'm being given it is like not as much as they did, because your relationship with them was special, but someone who is equally amazing that deserves your love, and vice versa. Okay, so that's coming through there as well. But let's bring it back because it keeps going outside of your energy. So perhaps that Ten of Swords represents you having a lot on your mind right now. Ten of Pentacles can indicate you're working on your prosperity, your security. You're trying to align yourself with material affluence to have a comfortable life. And this is for you and your family. So some of you, if you're worried about, the way the economic situation is going right now, I did mention that things are going to be very volatile, like a roller coaster, ups and downs intensely this year. It will plateau at some point, but we are headed towards a course correction. And, unfortunately, I hate to give that message. I really don't like some of the things that I see, and I'm like, I don't want to see that, but yet it comes to me and I see it. And then I want you to be aware, though, looking at the cards, the Ten of Pentacles, then you've got the Knight of Cups here, and you've got the Knight of Wands, along with the King energy. It feels like you are secure. It feels like you're protected. Okay, there's divine intervention here, and I feel that, with the potential card being the Ten of Cups, you will be fulfilled. You will be happy. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there. I'm going to remove the energy in order to go to the World card in the past position. So some of you, this could be whatever it is you're experiencing right now, like a knock-on effect based on what occurred in the world. So for example, some of you, not all of you, could be worried about redundancies based on the economic climate, something that perhaps is a direct result of an event that occurred a couple of years ago, for example, that has really kind of like impacted the world's economy at large. So it could be that, you're worried about these things, or they may be on your mind. I actually see you have a lot of things on your mind right now. Mainly like money, finances, wanting to be happy, wanting to be fulfilled, focusing on your dreams and goals, working towards retirement, focusing on family members, especially parents or guardians or people that you feel are your soul tribe. I feel like you're someone who gives so much of yourself to make sure that everybody is okay. But at the same time, I feel sometimes you may forget about yourself. And I feel this is about not neglecting your own needs. So it's almost like you're entering into a cycle now where you're thinking about what makes you happy. What is that missing ingredient in life? And you're taking a step towards it. A lot of you, because you are a fiery, element where you're passionate, intense, you're exciting to be with, you're fun. You may have felt that life got pretty serious. Okay, because that Ten of Pentacles says there is responsibility. There's a heaviness for some of you, and you may be feeling like you want to reignite that spark. You want to reconnect to that Aries that you used to be in the past. You're still that person, but I feel like you're changing right now, and you are going to reconnect to that part of yourself that perhaps you feel like you've lost touch with. As you mature, I feel like you're going to rediscover that playful side of yourself. And, the World card, it can indicate in this position that you are closing out a major chapter in your life, and it was hard. So some of you, it could be something that you were tempted to connect to, whether it was a food substance, whether it was a person or a cycle that you've been accepting, and you feel it's no longer happening. You are fed up. You've had enough. You've drawn a line in the sand with it. The Ten of Swords says enough. The end. I can't do this anymore. And the World card says, okay, I learned something from this, and now I'm moving on. Okay. Now, of course, because the World card is there, some of you may have made a decision to move. Now, this could be to emigrate. It could be that you're migrating a business, or you and your family are thinking about where you belong in the world right now. The Ten of Swords can indicate the neighborhood that you live in, or the country or the state or district or wherever it is you live in right now. It may feel like it is broken somehow, because Ten of Swords with an Ace of Pentacles in this position, it can indicate that things are transforming, and perhaps you're not happy with the trajectory of where things are headed, or you're uneasy about it and it's been on your mind. So there may have been conversations about leaving a place or ending a cycle at a place, and you may be trying to kind of like think about where you'll be happy, because the Ten of Cups is the potential. Wherever you decide to go, whatever decision you make, whether it's to move jobs or neighborhoods or, end something and reinvest elsewhere, because that's what your Ace of Pentacles is, you will be truly happy, and you'll celebrate this move or this decision to end a chapter in order to embrace something new. Now, of course, it doesn't always have to be hugely radical. Sometimes there can be a quiet revolution inside of yourself where you think to yourself, you know what, I'm not accepting that anymore, and I'm basically going to adjust my behavior accordingly. So it could be a very quiet revolution within you where you're deciding, actually, I'm phasing something out. It's the end. It can be a graceful ending, but what a Ten of Swords as your starting position indicates that there is a wonderful new beginning. The point of epiphany, a realization, indicates a lot of you it's an end of an old way of thinking or an end of an old way of behaving, so that you can radically transform and be the catalyst for change in your life. And you're actually going to love the changes. For some of you, this could be I mean, my readings are not about aesthetics, but because you have a King of Wands there and a Queen of Cups, for some of you, this could be a change in your style. You know, being more flamboyant, accepting who you are, loving yourself a little bit deeper, and saying, you know what, I want to express myself through color in my clothes. Or perhaps you want to treat yourself in a way where you haven't treated yourself before. So it can be aesthetically something that you're transforming inside of yourself, the way you invest in yourself. Okay, for some of you, this could be like you detoxifying. You know, it can be with that 10 of Cups, a major detox where you are rehydrating, where you are actually noticing a change based on what you digest in your body or how you feel about yourself. But I do see, you know, this energy, especially with that 10 of Cups, and if you've been having any complex dynamics in a friendship or relationship, I do see a return to happier times where everybody's on the same page, there's a more peaceful energy there. I mean, when I bring this back to you and your energy, this is about you feeling like you're protecting your inner peace, you're paying attention to what brings you joy, and I really feel that abundance and things that you want start to flow naturally to you because you're in a different state. And I don't mean physically, I mean like mentally, you're in a different state where things just feel a little bit easier in your future. You know, the 10 of Cups can also indicate that the dream that you have starts to take shape. You know, it can indicate that there is contentment and support and a love for what you do. A lot of you, this can be that you're starting to romance your life a little bit more and really kind of like build on whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. I mean, I see you trying so hard to get 3 10s there, 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups. You know, it feels like phases of life that have been hard and going from this challenge to something better, to something really exciting and, you know, special. So I feel here that you're in stages of something, maybe even like small steps towards something that are going to yield monumental moments and memories in your life that you're going to be truly happy with there as well. Okay. Now, some of you, of course, if you are going through a period of thinking about your legacy with you and your family, the impact that you're making in your life, I definitely see here you impact the people around you. They may not say it all the time, but I do see that they appreciate you. 3 of Cups, they see you as a great friend, someone who's always there connecting, giving so much of yourself. I feel like they actually are in awe of you, and I feel here as well that they would celebrate you. I mean, sometimes people, they have their own stuff going on in their mind, and we have to acknowledge that they can't always be thinking about us or connecting in the way that we hoped, because sometimes they're dealing with their own stuff. You know, we can walk down the sidewalk and you could meet about 10 people and everyone is going through something, and 9 times out of 10, it's challenging, it's hard, they're holding it all together. And at the same time, you know, we think about our own stuff. We're not thinking about other people. So it can be that if you haven't seen people or someone for a while, you feel there's been a distance in the relationship, but no falling out. For example, it could be that you're wondering what's gone on there. Is there a problem? I feel this person's dealing with something, and your presence in their life actually is very important. And I feel for some of you, because you have that 10 of Swords there, you may be going through something challenging as well. And your silence, you're kind of like wondering who notices your silence. And this person is going to notice your silence. They're dealing with something, so it may be delayed a little bit, but they will notice your silence because they really care about you. Okay, so that's coming out there as well. And if some of you feel like, you know, you have not met your soul tribe, or you haven't met people who are like-minded individuals, and you haven't connected in some way, especially if you're going through like a major spiritual awakening, friendship circles tend to get smaller and smaller and smaller because you're seeing things that other people don't see, dynamics change, you're living a life that is different, and some people stay in a certain vibration, and if you're elevating in a vibration, you know, sometimes they cannot coexist. They can only occasionally dip in together, but you'll start to notice that things just don't feel the same as they used to. And if that's what you're going through right now, I definitely see here that you're going to connect to a group of people in your future based on something that you're passionate about. So it could be a hobby, or it could be something you want to learn about, but ultimately, I feel like you come out with 2 really solid friends. You're going to be so tight for life, okay? Because when I'm looking at this energy, I've got three people here with the Three of Cups, and we've got the King and Queen of Cups and a King of Wands. So either these are people who are already in your life at this moment in time. I mean, in this spread, these are aspects of self. Okay, but in this energy right now, I feel like there's going to be two people who have a major impact on your life, and you're going to be so close to these people. And I feel, you know, these are your ride or die. They are someone who is very thoughtful. They are compassionate. They are fair. They are, you know, people who respect but also bring peace. Like, you can confide in those people. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there as well. But coming back to this Ten of Cups, I really feel like you're going to be fulfilled in some area of your life. And you know, the Ten of Cups can indicate as well that you're basically focused right now on what is mattering to you. What will matter in 5 years' time, 10 years' time. You're locked onto your goals, but you're really kind of getting to the root of what matters to you, what really makes you happy. And of course, money is important. We need to pay bills, but I feel this is more about the investment in life and the reciprocity, and you giving everything that you've got to give a situation and feeling seen or heard or recognized that, you know, because I'm being given this, and this is the second time I've been given it in your reading, you know, I'm seeing I am. So a lot of you, because of course Aries is all about this energy of I am, some of you could be establishing yourself at something, or, you know, wanting to be seen or understood in some way. You're someone who is self-sufficient, you know, but I feel you're a very strong person, but I feel this desire to connect or have community going on here. So perhaps this is something that's on your mind as well, and you will find your community and your soul tribe. Now, whatever it is you're trying to do in life, Three of Cups says you will celebrate. But the next 6 weeks position, I feel there's a gathering or some sort of invitation coming in that you're really going to enjoy. And there's a very important conversation there that you're meant to have with a person where you see that actually someone is going through something very similar to you, not exactly the same, but I feel like you can bond over that, is what I'm seeing there. But let's bring this back to you, because the Three of Cups basically indicates that you're in a period right now of kind of trying to enjoy the moment, you know, and you may be working towards a certain goal, and you're looking at the different compartments of that goal to see how it all fits together. But I'm just getting this energy that some of you, perhaps there's like a missing link or a missing piece of information, that you'll meet someone random very, very soon who's going to offer you that missing link or that missing piece of information, and they're going to offer it up quite by accident. There's no accidents, okay? There's happy coincidences, but you're going to look at it like, oh, okay, I didn't even ask, but they've kind of like started talking about something that perhaps you feel is a missing ingredient, or something that you've always wanted to do or find out about. And this person's just going to randomly talk about it, because this is divine intervention. You're meant to meet this person because it is a sign that this piece of information is something that you need. That's why you've been searching for it or yearning for it or thinking about it, and it will be delivered to you. But most importantly, I want you to be aware that, you know, this is a coming together of people. Okay, and I'm also seeing a present with this as well. So someone may give you a delayed, maybe birthday gift. Maybe they haven't seen you for a while and they're going to reach out. And I know your birthday season basically is over by now for you probably watching this reading. But I feel there's a delayed gift coming on in here for you. What else am I getting with that? You know, I just see that you're giving life everything that you got right now, and it's hard, but you're someone who has the tenacity and the willpower to make it work. And I definitely see here you've been going through some tests, and it's almost like a rite of passage, but I definitely see here that, you know, you're going to make it to wherever you feel your desired destination is. And for some of you, there could be some changes in your home space as well, because whether that is you working out where you belong, or whether it is you kind of like finding a home in other people, an affinity, a connection, I just get this sense of, you know, where you belong, or thinking about who you are, the impact you're making, and the legacy that you're leaving right now. And I think there's just this energy of, as you mature, you're just noticing that your body is changing, it has different needs, and you're listening. I just feel like you're listening at this time. Now, this is your advice to yourself in this moment. A lot of you could be trying to accept a lot of invitations to mingle. I do apologize with the very large airplane that is like flying so low overhead. You know, I didn't realize I lived in a flight path, but here we are. It's getting more and more and more, which is crazy, but I hope the microphone has diminished the amount of sound that's come out there, because it was pretty loud for me, pretty much shaking the house. Well, it's an apartment, but you know, so I hope it didn't impact your reading too much. But let's get back to your energy. The Knight of Cups in this position indicates some of you may be trying to open up more to invitations from people, to socialize a little bit more, especially if, you know, you've been a little bit isolated recently. Also, the Knight of Cups is basically an invitation from the universe to learn more about yourself and to really discover what it is that you love. I feel, because there's so many cups here in your reading, I definitely get an energy of rehydrating, okay? But also, I get this energy of you following your heart, following your passions. And, you know, with that Ten of Swords, it can feel like you're giving life everything you got, to the point where you feel disassociated or almost on autopilot. And you may have noticed that some of the things that you used to enjoy just don't hit in the same way, or just don't feel the same way. So it can be that you're trying to reignite that spark, or revitalize your spirits, is what I'm being given with this card. Okay, so I feel you're kind of like doing a bit of an assessment right now, like, what is the missing ingredient? What is it that I love? What is it I want to do? And a lot of you, you know, I feel there is this deep learning curve of reflection about where you feel like you are right now and what would make you feel secure. You know, also with that World card, because it's calling me, it's like this wholeness, everything coming together, coming home to like a point that feels like you're at peace. That's something that's coming up there. But, you know, because we've got the tens, I'm just getting this energy with the Knight of Cups as a next card. It's like some of you may feel like you've hit a plateau in your life, or like not quite a brick wall, but it's almost like you've reached a level where you need new kind of like information, new experiences, new friendships, new environments, new places, new faces, new stimulus, basically. I just get this energy of like, you've come as far as you can with some things in your life, and you're like, well, what next? So some of you, it's about this expansion going on right now, and that can be applied to work. It can be applied to relationships, friendships. You know, this is the circumstances outside of yourself, and this is the Knight of Wands, which means a determination for a new adventure, or there's a new calling upon you. So the Knight of Cups is like seeing the vision, really looking at the reflection of what it is you aspire to accomplish. And the Knight of Wands is to take action, but also the opportunities have to be there for you to move towards. So I feel there's a lot of opportunities coming on in, especially since you have an Ace of Pentacles, which is something the universe hasn't offered you yet, but it will come in. And it is something that's rewarding. So whatever it is you're focused on, because normally, you know, it's going to be very specific to you, it's going to be different for everybody, you will accomplish it. I feel you're already accomplished in many areas of your life. And of course, there can be this energy that you feel very fulfilled with certain aspects of your life, but you're frustrated in some other area. You're very grateful for all that you have, but you're aware that there is this missing ingredient or something that you've been working hard to accomplish, and you feel it hasn't shown up yet, but it will show up for you, whatever that is. I mean, the Knight of Wands is an energy of you being more flamboyant or reigniting that spark, leading with passion. You're actually someone who is naturally adventurous, and I feel you're also very attractive, okay? But some of you, you know, there may have been some sort of new thing that you're doing right now that actually sees you being really magnetic and getting a lot of attention from people. Now, you know, when you're in a fire element like the Knight of Wands, it means that you're determined to lock onto your goals and you're unstoppable. Okay, you're moving forward, you have that vision, you're trusting that intuition, and, you know, your ideas have value. But a lot of you, because there are so many tens here which tend to connect to either family or responsibilities or something that you feel is a duty in your life, this can be a desire for more independence. I mean, it could also be if you're in a career, for example, and you have someone who's micromanaging you and you've come as far as you can in the role that you're in and you want a little bit more independence. It can be that you're thinking about leaving it behind with that Ten of Swords. Enough is enough. But you may be waiting for a new opportunity to come in before you actually fully give in your notice, for example. But something big is ended, but I feel something major has changed within you, and you just want to do something new, something exciting. And I mean, for some of you, if you had the resources, for some of you, this can be that you want to go off and explore. You know, a very explorative energy. I feel like you're super busy. There is a flurry of activity with this card. You know, there's always something to do. Life is always moving the goalposts. And yes, you are exhausted, but I feel like you have the determination to make things work, and you will have the vitality to actually see things through to the end there as well. And you'll be able to manifest in many forms when you get this card. It's a very exciting card, okay? But I also feel some of you are having the courage to end something, or having the courage to say enough. Okay, so I feel you're opening yourself up to more. I mean, the Knight of Wands and the World card can also pair up to kind of indicate some sort of foreign travel. So some of you could be like, you're just like ready to end something and go on a vacation. So it could be that, you know, you're looking forward to traveling, or you're literally like ending a period of your life in a place and saying, I'm moving on. And wherever you're moving towards, you're going to celebrate it. Now, the hope and a fear is the King of Wands. So, you know, when you have the King of Wands in the resistance position, because it is a hope and a fear position, this would be the fear. The fear could be that you may feel that, you know, life is changing and you're trying to be adaptable to these changes. And some of you may feel like you're not ready, but you're in Aries. So you're definitely ready. You're someone who is ready for anything. You have the power within you to adapt to your circumstances. You're someone who is super strong, okay? And I definitely see here, because there's two people, but these can be aspects of self. Self-care is going to help you take more command over your emotions and feel more regenerated and feel like you have more energy. And it can indicate as well that, you know, you are bringing more harmony to your emotions, and there's more peace of mind there. You may be coming through something that was challenging, because this is an outcome energy. So normally, I mean, this is an outcome energy. This is couple energy right there. So it can be like true love, for example. But also it can indicate you're going to love different aspects of your life. And I will pull a card on that just to clarify those two people. But also this can be that you're doing something that you should be proud of, but other people around you are also going to be really proud of you, whatever this is. Okay, even people who tend to be very hard to please, like something is never enough. But I feel the lesson here is that you're aware your happiness is not tied up in another person. And also you're not responsible for other people's happiness. You're responsible for your own. So this is a card where you're coming back to self, where you're literally kind of prioritizing your own needs, and you will see the nature of your relationships change. Now, I'm being given something that may not resonate with everyone, but I'm going to say it because it's there. It's in the water right now. If you treat people like a star all the time, eventually they will treat you like a fan. Okay, so this can be about the dynamics of relationships, being an overgiver. You know, sometimes things tip to a point where if you're always overgiving in a situation, sometimes a person will get used to it and sit back and actually just keep taking until you got nothing left to give with that Ten of Swords, okay? So I feel some of you could be adjusting a relationship or a friendship where you feel like, you know, you do everything for this, or you're always trying to appease a situation. For some of you, it could be that you feel like you're in the middle of a situation sometimes, because there is a Three of Cups, and you may feel like you're in the middle of drama or a dynamic where you feel it's relentless or unending. So, you know, I definitely see here that you're adjusting your behavior. And for some of you, of course, you could be pulling your own life into review, especially with the Ace of Pentacles. You could be thinking about the start of your life. If you've witnessed parents or guardians divorcing, for example, it could have impacted the way that you feel about relationships or love. And it could be that you're closing a chapter and realizing something that you witnessed when you were younger, that's not your narrative. That was their experience. And sometimes hurt people, they actually pass their cycles of repeat, their trauma, their wounding onto the next generation. But looking at your energy, Ten of Swords, the World card, it stops with you. So you may have had a very challenging experience where you've had to close out some familial kind of like karma there, some generational wounding. And, you know, I feel like you're setting yourself free in some way. Now, I'm just going to pull a quick card on the King and Queen of Cups, okay? I actually see with this King of Wands, though, you're returning to a part of yourself. The hope is to be the best that you can be and live the life that you desire and influence your circumstances, you know, be inspired, aligned with your goals, your dreams, and reignite that passion and be confident within your wonderful self. Have more energy. King of Wands is an energy card, you know, so it's like back to best. If you've been struggling with something health-wise, it could be that these are practitioners that identify a root cause of you feeling low energy, exhausted, mentally burnt out. I mean, a lot of the time, the world and the society that we've built is burning us out because it just feels like everything is overloaded and chaotic right now. And you are an empath, so you're feeling, you know, how things are changing and shifting in the world. But for some of you, because there's so many cups here, this could be hormonal. It could be something that is like a little bit out of balance for some of you, and you may be connecting to practitioners who can identify how to bring you back into balance, maybe even a missing ingredient or a missing vitamin there, a deficiency with that Ace of Pentacles. It can be that, you know, practitioners identify something that perhaps has been a little bit off in your system, and then suddenly you're back to best. So please take it as it resonates. Six of Pentacles. The universe is going to send you a nice little surprise. Six of Pentacles also means balance. You know, in the Six of Pentacles on the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the figure giving to one of the figures, you know, extra attention often is represented as spirit. Okay, so it can be that, you know, there is divine intervention. You are going to get what you asked for, what you've been praying for, or, you know, there's, as I mentioned earlier, a benefactor who comes in and gives you a piece of information. These could be people who are sent to you to help your narrative or help you move forward in life. You know, everyone we meet gives us something to inform our journey, even if it's someone that you just meet in the coffee store. You know, it's just every person comes into your life for a reason or a season. And I feel that Six of Pentacles, there is a financial balance. I feel you've been giving out more than you've been getting back, and now you're aware of it, especially with perhaps two people in your life. These people may be family members, or they may be, you know, people perhaps who actually have a lot of care for you. And I feel it just needs a readjustment of that balance. But I mean, Six of Pentacles can also mean that there is love available for you, and it may just happen out of the blue. But I do feel a lot of you have a choice. My guides asked me to go again. The Emperor energy is, of course, an Aries energy. That's just popped out there for you. So that's really about you kind of like honoring your emotions, implementing self-care routines, and coming back to best. And we got the Queen of Wands. I mean, there's a lot of people going on here. Okay, so I'm definitely seeing, no matter what cards are popping out, it's highlighting a relationship to me here. So it can be that, you know, you're about to find someone you're very attracted to, but there's going to be a choice. And it can be that one person is going to be for the long term and one person is a flirtation. I feel the Emperor energy is you taking charge of your life. Okay, and again, it's highlighting like three people. Six of Pentacles, there's normally three people in a Six of Pentacles, and it being about balance and reciprocity. So I feel this is really telling me that you are looking at how much you give to people or situations, because you tend to give all of yourself, leaving yourself depleted often and exhausted. So, you know, that Queen of Cups can be more self-care routines, you know, giving back to self, being more compassionate with yourself, especially when you're under pressure. You may be a little bit more critical of yourself. So this is about acknowledging that and saying that, you know, you are a gift and you're doing the greatest that you can with the circumstances and resources that you've got right now. And I feel this is about you being a friend to yourself as well as others, okay? Now, of course, this is a healing card. A lot of you naturally have healing abilities. So it can be that people come towards you for your healing and your care, and you're constantly giving, but who's then giving back to you? Or how are you replenishing yourself? And we have that King of Cups, which is, you know, taking command of your emotions as well. And acknowledging that A person can do something that can trigger something within ourselves, but we get to decide whether we allow it to affect us or have an impact on our emotions. So this can be that you're protecting your emotions at this time, but I really feel that if you're single, this is a relationship, a loving one, you know, you meeting a person, but it could be that you're introduced to two people through either a friend or an event. And, you know, one is a flirtation and one very much is a long-term relationship, soulmate. You'll marry this person if you want to get married, for example, but you may have to let someone down in order to move on to someone that is more in alignment with your love language, let's put it that way. For some of you, this could also be that you're like moving from your heart space. You're recognizing what it is that you love, and the universe is sending you opportunities and people that you will love. You know, Queen of Cups often is something being offered to you that basically you've asked for or you've been ruminating on for quite some time. But also those two cards, they can highlight a desire to fall back in love with your life again, especially if you've been feeling that things have been highly pressurized or things are not hitting in the same way as usual. And again, this reading, it may not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor everything that comes out. Okay, thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Good Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? Anything more they need to be aware of at this time? Okay, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Good Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? What do they need to know at this time? Okay, so the final cards that we have are the calling. So yeah, I definitely see that you're locked onto a goal or a calling or something that you feel is your sense of purpose. And that can be hard, you know, but it says here, expect to receive the news that you've been patiently waiting on. And I did mention there's something to celebrate here. Something that you feel like you haven't got right now is coming in for you. Call, text, news, communication, and information. Okay, so this could be something that is beneficial to you and your family in some way, or your soul tribe members, because somehow it seems to benefit all the people that you care about, whatever this is. And it's like a coming together of celebrating. So whatever news you're waiting for, you know, it's going to be some good stuff coming in. Now we have number 13, which is change and transformation. So you could be preempting some sort of major radical change here, but I feel like you're prepared. And it says here, if you want the victory, be prepared for the fight. So there's a level of success coming on in here for you, and you are going to win, okay, because you're prepared for it. Now this could be something that is legal. It could be something that you are fighting like an inner battle, for example. So whatever it is, it says time to plan, don't get caught off guard. If you want the victory, be prepared for the fight. And I feel like you're so ready for this. You know, the Ten of Swords can be this fight or flight mode that some of you have been in. Maybe, you know, I feel like you're trying to reconnect to that part of yourself or return to happier times, even though there's a lot of pressure and a lot of like flurry of activity. Some of you may feel that time has somehow sped up as well, that there's just never enough time in a day. But I do see that you're going to manage your time in a way where things shift for you and it just feels like, you know, it's easier, like you can take a breath, okay? We've also got continuity. What you desire must have continuity. It cannot be constantly reinvented. Persistence, consistency, and interruption. So because we've got so many tens here, I feel like you are like giving it everything that you got, whatever that is, okay? And you're trying to limit any distractions to focus on something that is hugely important in your life, and that continuity is going to bear fruit and reward. We also have primal. So that King of Wands is all about that primal power returning. You know, it says, this primal drive holds the key to winning the object of your desire. Raw feelings, you know, and like a tour de force in your life right now. So you're locked onto something, you're giving it your best shot, and I feel all that energy, that passion is going to take you to where you desire to be. When a man moves away from nature, his heart becomes hard. Interesting. I said right at the beginning, I feel this energy that you're trying not to let life and its challenges harden your heart. And literally, you got a card about, you know, hearts being hard. You're leaving your reading with the King and Queen of Cups, which means your heart is wide open to opportunity, to people, to, you know, loving life. So I feel like you're aware that you must not move away from your natural nature. You know, people can disrespect us. there's always going to be someone in the world at some point who does not see your worth. Don't ever let it be you. Don't ever change how you are based on someone else, because, you know, that Ten of Swords can represent someone like literally betrayed you, or, you know, has lost your trust forever. It's over. But I feel like you are out there trying to shine your light. Don't let anyone dull your shine. And I feel this is about you being your true authentic self and not allowing this experience that has been challenging to change who you are and how you deal with people, because not everybody is the same. Okay, and I feel like you're putting that in your past and disconnecting from this challenging experience. But we've also got divine timing. So something is happening here for you that is going to be very rewarding. It says surrender to divine timing. The universe is looking out for you. And that's what that Six of Pentacles was all about. The universe is paying you attention now and is sending you what you desire. And it says trust. When it's not the right time, surrender to the moment. So, you know, sometimes, you know, a door will be closed or locked to give us a moment of pause. And that Ten of Swords there for you could indicate that, you know, something hasn't been working, or it's just been challenging, and it's given you an opportunity to really reflect on family, spend time with your nearest and dearest, or really work out what it is that you truly want before that door completely opens for you. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, the doors are going to be open, and there's a lot of fulfillment and joy in your future. And I feel divine intervention is helping you achieve something that you have been aspiring to accomplish. And I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Now, I just heard before I move forward, justice shall be done. So I'm just going to leave that there because you didn't get the justice card, so I'm not sure what it connects to, but I just heard it. So I have to say it. And we've got a ship. Okay. Really interesting. I was drawn to an image of a ship. I can't prove it, of course, because, you know, I didn't write it down. But I can show you, because when I light the candle, I use, you know, some matches, of course, and a friend gave me these matches. I'm going to show you right now, and they actually have a ship. That's why I was drawn to it, okay, right when I lit your candle there, okay, and we've got a ship. So the ship is all about the journey, but also it indicates that when times get tough, you adjust the sails. You're someone who is flexible, okay? I feel like you're still on the right path. I feel like you're moving with the energy at this time. And, you know, in the King of Cups, there's this ship in the background, which indicates that, you know, even when the seas are choppy, you know, you are still going to utilize the energy to take you to where you want to go. So you're not phased, okay? So, you know, although I can't prove it, I was really drawn to this image when I lit your candle, and just interesting that then that broke off. Okay, so maybe some of you are breaking away from something because you're like off on another journey, new chapter. You're leaving something behind with that. So, you know, I would say there's some sort of relevance there with that trinket and everything that occurred in your reading. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. Of course, it's not going to resonate with everyone because of the way the cards come out and the energy and the messages that come with it, but I hope it does connect in some shape or form. So thank you so much, my beautiful Aries, and love and light.